Okay, so you know how some festivals just really stick with you, like they have this deep meaning and sense of community. And amazing food is always a big part of it too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, Eid for Muslims around the world really kind of has it all. And it's such a special occasion, full of joy, family, and a strong connection to faith. We're going to really get into what makes Eid so unique today, exploring traditions from different cultures and how the celebration has changed over time.
It's really interesting how Eid can be both a personal spiritual thing and a massive global event at the same time. It's celebrated by billions, but each person experiences it within their own culture.
That's so true. So today we want to give everyone a deep understanding of Eid, whether you celebrate it every year or are just curious about it. We'll look at its history, the different ways it's celebrated, and of course the food. It always comes back to the food. Let's start by understanding what Eid is all about.
One important thing to remember is that when we talk about Eid, we're actually talking about two separate celebrations in the Islamic calendar. They both have special meanings and mark different events.
Okay, so two different Eids. What makes them unique?
The first one is Eid al-Fitr, and as you said, it marks the end of Ramadan, the month of fasting. It's often called the Festival of Breaking the Fast, which perfectly captures a feeling of joy and relief after a time of spiritual discipline. For a whole month, Muslims all over the world don't eat or drink from dawn to sunset. It's not just about the physical act, though. It's a time for reflecting on your faith, becoming more disciplined, and understanding the struggles of those who experience hunger.
Ramadan sounds like an incredibly powerful experience, so Eid al-Fitr must be a huge celebration.
It really is. It's a time for immense gratitude and joy. People wake up feeling like they've achieved something spiritually. They start the day by cleaning themselves and putting on their best clothes, often new outfits, specifically for Eid. Then there are communal prayers in mosques and open areas bringing the entire community together.
I heard there's also a really important aspect of giving to charity before the Eid prayers.
Yes, definitely. Before the Eid prayer, Muslims give to charity. This practice is called zakat al-fitr. It's not about making big showy donations. It's usually giving basic foods like rice, wheat, or dates to make sure that everyone in the community can enjoy a festive meal and celebrate Eid. It really embodies the spirit of sharing joy and taking care of each other.
That's such a beautiful tradition. Now let's talk about the second, Eid al-Adha. I know this one is often called the festival sacrifice. Can you tell us about it?
Eid al-Adha remembers a very important story of faith. It's about Prophet Ibrahim, who's also known as Abraham in Judaism and Christianity. He was commanded by God to sacrifice his son Ismail. Showing incredible faith, Ibrahim was ready to do as God commanded. But just as he was about to come, God, seeing his devotion, provided a ram to be sacrificed instead. It's a powerful story about having strong faith even when things are difficult, and it shows God's incredible mercy.
That's a really moving story, and this is where the tradition of animal sacrifice comes in, right?
Exactly. To remember this event, Muslims who can afford it sacrifice an animal, usually a goat, sheep, or cow. It's important to understand that it's not just about the physical act. The main idea is to be selfless, to show gratitude, and to offer something valuable to God.
Once the animal is sacrificed, what happens to it?
The meat is divided into three parts. One part is for the family who sacrificed the animal so they can enjoy the blessings of the occasion. Another part is shared with friends and family, which strengthens relationships and spreads goodwill in the community. And importantly, the last part goes to those in need, the poor and vulnerable people. This ensures that everyone benefits from the celebration, no matter their situation.
So even though they have different origins and rituals, both Eids share some really important values at their core.
Exactly. Both Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha are rooted in faith. They highlight the importance of family and community and emphasize charity and helping those less fortunate. These are really important values in Islam, and the Eids are key moments for celebrating them.
It's amazing how these principles are celebrated in so many different ways around the world. Even though the heart of Eid is the same for Muslims everywhere, the specific ways it's celebrated can be so different depending on the culture.
It's really beautiful to see how Islamic values are expressed through different cultures. It shows how adaptable the faith is and how it connects with different societies.
I'd love to hear about some of these different celebrations. You mentioned that in Turkey, Eid al-Fitr is called Shikar Bayrama, which means candy feast. That sounds so fun.
It really is. The name Shikar Bayrama tells you everything you need to know. It's all about sweetness and celebration. Children love this time of year. They go door to door in their neighborhoods, greeting people for Eid and receiving sweets, candies, and treats. It's a time of pure joy for them. It's not just about the sweets, though. Families make an effort to visit each other and connect. A special tradition is kissing the hands of older relatives to show respect and ask for their blessings. And of course, no Turkish celebration is complete without amazing desserts like baklava and Turkish delight.
That sounds so heartwarming. Now, what about Indonesia? I heard the Eid celebration, Lebaran, is a huge homecoming event.
That's right, Lebaran is a very important holiday in Indonesia. What makes it unique is mudik. It's when millions of people who move to cities for work or school travel back to their hometowns to be with their families for Eid. It's one of the biggest movements of people in the world. This shows how important family is during this special time. And of course, Indonesia has its own special Eid dishes like ketupat, which are rice cakes cooked in woven palm leaves, and rendang, a rich beef dish cooked slowly in coconut milk and spices.
Wow, mudik sounds incredible. Now let's move to the Middle East. Eid celebrations there must have their own unique style.
They definitely do. In many Middle Eastern countries, Eid is all about big family gatherings. Extended families come together to enjoy amazing food exchange, gifts, and spend time with each other. Another important tradition is setting up majlis. They're like hospitality tents or special areas in homes where guests are welcomed with traditional refreshments like Arabic coffee and dates. The majlis is more than just a tent. It's a place for the community to come together, share news, and connect, which is very important in many Middle Eastern cultures. And in some places like Saudi Arabia and the UAE, there are spectacular fireworks displays that light up the sky. Of course, there's also the tradition of exchanging Eid greetings, often with hugs, which is a really special custom.
Really, let's talk about South Asia. I understand Eid is a particularly colorful and lively event there.
You're absolutely right. In South Asia, Eid is celebrated with so much enthusiasm and color. People decorate their homes with bright decorations and wear their most colorful traditional clothes. Food is a big part of the celebration, with elaborate feasts featuring dishes like biryani kebabs and the classic Eid dessert sheer karma, which is a creamy vermicelli pudding made with milk dates and nuts. In the days leading up to Eid, the markets are packed with people shopping for new clothes, gifts, and special ingredients for their Eid meals. On Eid Day, people visit amusement parks and entertainment centers, especially children, which makes it a truly memorable experience for everyone.
It's amazing to hear about all these different traditions. Despite the regional differences, the feeling of togetherness and the spirit of giving are present in every celebration.
That's a really important point. While the way Eid is celebrated might look different from place to place, the core values of unity, compassion, and generosity are what connect Muslims around the world during this special time.
Speaking of generosity, let's talk more about that aspect of Eid. It seems like giving isn't just a tradition, but a core part of the whole celebration.
You're exactly right. Generosity is a really important value in Islam, and Eid is a special time to put it into practice. It's seen as a way to purify your blessings and make sure that everyone can experience the joy of the occasion, even those who are struggling.
You mentioned Zakat al-Fitr earlier. Why is this act of charity so important?
Zakat al-Fitr is more than just a donation. It's something that every adult Muslim is required to do before the Eid al-Fitr prayer. The main goal is to ensure that everyone in the community, including the poor and those in need, has enough food to eat and can celebrate Eid. Giving essential food items like this helps those who are struggling financially and allows them to participate in the festivities with dignity.
And during Eid al-Adha, there's the tradition of Qurbani. Can you explain what this practice is all about?
Of course, Qurbani, which means sacrifice, is an important ritual during Eid al-Adha. It's performed by families who can afford it. As we discussed earlier, it's a way to remember Prophet Ibrahim's act of faith. Sacrificing an animal, a goat, sheep, or cow, depending on what the family can afford, is a powerful reminder of this act of faith and submission to God.
The distribution of the meat is a key part of this tradition, right?
Absolutely. The meat is divided into 3 equal parts. One part is kept by the family who made the sacrifice, so they can enjoy the blessings. Another part is given to friends and family, strengthening relationships and spreading generosity. And the final part is given to the poor and those in need, so they can have nutritious food during this time. This way of sharing the meat represents the values of compassion, sharing, and taking care of the whole community.
Besides these important acts of giving, are there other ways that Muslims show generosity during Eid?
Yes, many Muslims also choose to do other kind things during both Eids. This might include visiting orphanages with gifts, spending time with patients in hospitals, or helping elderly people in the community. These acts of generosity extend the joy of Eid to a wider circle of people. Ultimately, Eid reminds us that true happiness comes not just from celebrating ourselves, but from spreading love, kindness, and unity.
Eid sounds like an incredible experience for all the senses, especially after fasting for Ramadan. I can only imagine how much people look forward to those first meals.
It's a really special sensory experience. After not eating during Ramadan, the delicious smells and tastes of traditional Eid foods are appreciated even more. It's a time to celebrate culinary traditions, and families often put a lot of effort into preparing elaborate meals.
You mentioned some specific dishes earlier that sounded really interesting. Can you tell us more about sheer kurma? The name itself sounds so delicious.
Sheer kurma is a classic Eid breakfast dish in many South Asian homes. It's a rich, creamy, sweet dessert made with thin vermicelli noodles cooked in milk that's been flavored with dates. It also usually has nuts like almonds, pistachios, and cashews, and sometimes spices like cardamom or saffron. It's often the first sweet treat people enjoy on Eid al-Fitr after fasting for a month. It's a delicious way to break the fast.
What about mamul, the Middle Eastern pastry you mentioned?
Mamul are these beautiful little shortbread cookies that are really special in the Middle East during Eid. They come in different shapes and are usually filled with sweet fillings like dates, pistachios, or walnuts. They're often flavored with rose water or orange blossom water. These pretty cookies are a symbol of celebration, hospitality, and sharing blessings, and they're often given to guests during Eid.
And of course, there's biryani. It's a popular dish in South Asia all year round, but it must be even more special during Eid.
Definitely, biryani with its layers of spiced rice and tender meat is a classic celebratory dish in South Asia, and it's a highlight of Eid meals. The slow cooking method allows the flavors to blend perfectly, making it a really satisfying and aromatic dish that's perfect for sharing with family and friends.
And you also mentioned kebabs and other grilled meats, which makes sense for Eid al-Adha, considering the tradition of animal sacrifice.
Yeah, that's a good point. Since there's fresh meat from the sacrifice during Eid al-Adha, grilling kebabs and other meat dishes is really common. It's a great way to enjoy the bounty of the sacrifice with family and guests. They're often marinated and served with lots of side dishes.
It sounds like food during Eid is about so much more than just eating. It's a way to connect with loved ones, share blessings, and make memories.
Absolutely. Preparing and sharing these special Eid foods is a big part of the celebration. Families often cook together, passing down recipes from generation to generation. And simply offering food to guests is a genuine expression of hospitality, warmth, and togetherness.
It seems like the main purpose of Eid is to bring people together. It's not just about individual religious practice, but about celebrating community and shared values.
That's a core part of Eid. It's a time when connections with family, neighbors, and the global Muslim community are strengthened, celebrated, and reaffirmed.
Can you describe the atmosphere on a typical Eid day? What's it like to be in a community that's celebrating?
There's a real feeling of joy, unity, and kindness everywhere. Mosques are packed for the special Eid prayers, with people dressed in their best clothes coming together to celebrate. Homes are decorated with colorful lights and decorations, creating a warm atmosphere. And in the streets, you'll hear people saying, Eid Mubarak, which means blessed Eid, to each other. There's a sense of friendship, respect, and shared happiness everywhere.
It sounds like a truly beautiful and unifying experience. What would you say is the main message or meaning of Eid?
At its heart, Eid is a time for reflecting on your faith, showing gratitude for the good things in your life, and remembering the importance of community values. It reminds us to be compassionate, generous, and to cherish the connections we have with others. It's a time to celebrate what you've accomplished spiritually during Ramadan in the case of Eid al-Fitr, and to remember the importance of sacrifice and devotion in the case of Eid al-Adha. And it's all celebrated with family, friends, and the wider community.
So as we wrap up our deep dive today, it's clear that Eid is a really special time for Muslims around the world. It's all about faith, family, and giving, and it's celebrated with so much love and so many different traditions. To everyone listening who celebrates Eid, we wish you a very happy Eid Mubarak. And to everyone else, we hope you've learned something new and interesting about this joyous occasion.
Here's something to think about. The ideas we've talked about today, the importance of community, generosity, and celebrating together, are things that resonate with people from all cultures and backgrounds. How can we take these ideas and apply them to our own lives and communities, no matter who we are and what we believe? It's a question worth considering.